Boom. We're live. What's up? Welcome everyone back to the number one podcast in the metaverse, Behind the Avatar. I'm here with a special guest that has been on the show a few times. I almost said your real name. I don't know if you have your real name out there. Ice Age from Pickaxe Master. If you do have your real name out there, introduce yourself, let people know who you are, where you're from, and then we'll dive on into the conversation.
Hell yeah, and thank you for having me here representing the Pickaxe Master team. My name is Bruno. It's
There we
pretty
go.
public out there. It's on the website, so yeah,
I
it's
figured, but
Docs team, knowledge for everyone. And thank you for having me. I was telling Krafter, it's an honor to be here. You were the first person that I got ever interviewed in the Sandbox community, in the metaverse, let's say, per so.
mm-hmm.
So it's a great honor to always come back here. You always have treated us right, and I remember it was on May, I believe, the first time that we have chatted, and yeah, it's been such a long ride until like 6 months ago. We had the first time that we got invited to be here on Behind the Avatar, and well, so much we have discovered, so much we have engaged with you and everyone in the community, and feels like it's just a totally different feeling from back then 6 months ago and coming back here again. It
Mm-hmm.
just feels like, yeah, we're meeting each other like, okay, what is this, the Pickaxe Master? What is this behind the avatar? Like, okay, we're pretty much, I would say, starting, and 6 months afterwards, here we are doing the
Right.
same
Yeah.
show,
Yeah.
and but just way more mature, way more evolved, and
No, yeah, it's been awesome to see your guys' progress over the last like you were just saying like 6 months or whatever. It's been
mhm.
it's been crazy, and yeah, it's cool to I'm excited for this show to just continue to go on and grow because it's going to be cool to be able to look back at all these early episodes and then see where everyone is and even a year but like 5 years down the road, like it'll just be cool to have all of this kind of and just at least like little increments of documentation of everyone's journey along the way. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I think it's just a fun way to document the growth of the metaverse because at the end of the day, like we everyone that's building in the sandbox and outside the sandbox are building the metaverse. Like this is the beginning of the metaverse that in the future everyone is gonna know and enter into every day. And like it's crazy that it's starting because I feel like it's something that we've all kind of dreamed of, at least everyone that's here right now, we've all kind of like dreamed about the metaverse and like wondered if it is ever going to be something that'll happen, and then now it actually is happening. So it's crazy time. So I love it. Shout out chat, by the way. What up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. I see Caratraz and Hodl. um, GM, happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving, and happy Thursday if you don't. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving here in the U.S. and I'm doing totally nothing. My family lives up in, well, actually they're kind of all over the place now. My dad travels around in an RV, but most of my family lives up in Minnesota, and I'm down in Texas. So um, it's a little long of a drive or flight for just one meal with a bunch of family, but uh, we'll get together during Christmas. That's usually how we handle things. So yeah, happy whatever, and happy Thursday here in Canada. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, anyways, Bruno, back to the man of the hour. How have things progressed? I'm trying to even like think of what we went over last time you were on the show. It's hard to for sure remember, but maybe just give everyone just a really, because I'm sure some people are going to be tuning in for the first time and don't know anything about the Pickaxe Master. So maybe let's just start it off with just a really just quick overview of what Pickaxe Master is, where it came from a little bit, and then where it is today and what's happening, and then we'll just keep going.
Okay, sounds good. And first of all, before I answer to your question, I just have to say, related and just to comment what you said just back, is
Mm-hmm.
that I think that you're doing a really incredible job of putting up these episodes that you do, interviewing a lot of SanFam, a lot of creators, and like you said, seeing 1 year forward or 5 years forward, you get all of these episodes with all of the creators and their insights and how they've grown and how their projects were born and what they have become. And I think that's going to be something that, okay, you want to dig in a bit into the Sandbox history and the creators'
Mm-hmm.
history. Like you might see in a couple of years, like, oh, Kingdom of Sakar, such a huge IP and game and well known across the metaverse. And then you go back and like, oh, look at this, all of these interviews, all these big games now that are established games in the Sandbox, how they have progressed, how did they came, and you can see all this history that comes back forward and see because I know that you do a lot of interviews with basically everyone, and it's
Yeah.
pretty cool that you get access to talk and get inputs from everyone. So I just wanted to say that I think what you're doing, it's just such a tremendous value added to the community, and I think that's a way for to give back to the community we're building. We're trying ourselves to establish with our own studio companies, our projects, and also uh, providing a way to give back. I know that you have behind Avatar. We do have some other forms, which is in more like game jams or contests, which is also a
Mm-hmm.
way to give back to the community. But we will get into that later,
Yeah.
because I know there's a lot of to be talked about it, and we have something going on together as well. But coming back to your original question is, so the way we started the Pickaxe Master started as a board game. So during the COVID, me and my sister, we had a huge background on board gaming. I have already did other board games, and we are just like, hey, what if we do? My sister, she has a PhD in drawing. I think that's how it's called. So she's a fantastic, amazing not drawer, because that
Artist.
sounds, that's artist. Thank you. In Portuguese, the words are slightly different. Thank you. She's an amazing artist. Like, okay, what if? Well, you're very good at drawing. I'm good at game making. What if we decide to do something together? It's COVID. We're stuck here at home for God knows how long. So let's
Mm-hmm.
do something and play our own games. So we are like, okay, let's do it. What type of games do we like most? So we grabbed some mechanics from games that all the family, because there's a tradition of us playing as a family. So like, okay, what are the coolest features that we enjoyed the most to play? So we grabbed all of those from all the different games, like decided to bundle up together. And with all those mechanics, like, okay, we can make a mining game out of this, because these can actually get all the mechanics that we want into one place. And that's how the Pickaxe Master was born, originally as a
Mm-hmm.
board game. And with the COVID afterwards, I remember my the brother of my girlfriend is also a painter, an artist, and they were talking about art, NFTs, and that's how I got into touch with the NFT world. Not with crypto, because I already had got in touch with crypto, but more like NFTs. I remember like art NFTs. I'm not quite sure. I'm not convinced yet how this can be. Well, but I was too green about it. I did not read. I did not. I knew nothing about the blockchain and what are their standards, what are their values, etc. But later on, when I discovered about gaming and NFTs, ownership, markets, and actually you play a game, you have access to this amazing sword that's super rare and hard to get, and now it's yours, and you can trade it and sell it. Because I come from also as a huge player from the MMORPGs, so I know what
Mm.
it's like to have those raids with hundreds and hundreds of people, everyone trying to get that unique item, and then you get it, and you would see these black markets like World of Warcraft. It's
Yeah.
like any MMO. It has a black market because
Right.
it's not legal to sell those
And you
items.
and
So
you have to sell your like account, right? Is that what
as
people
well,
are
yeah.
doing? Yeah. Yeah.
For
I never
example,
really like
Fortnite with the
participated, but
skins.
I've heard of it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fortnite with the
that happens.
skins. Yep. Yep. That's that.
The World of Warcraft Gold as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I mean that's what this is solving, and that's where it clicked in my head right away, because I think just even though, like I said, I'd never really participated in those black markets, like I knew they were there, and it's like,
I purchased there. I remember coming back to a game. I was like, nah, I don't want to start over. Like I played this game for five
uh-huh.
years now. I'm a returning player. I just want to get myself an end game account, because I don't want to through all of this gameplay again and just start where I was.
Yeah,
So yeah, I even experienced that myself.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so from somebody that's experienced it, was it? when you were buying stuff, were you buying it with like Bitcoin or something, or what was? How were you buying
No,
it
no,
from
no.
people? It was
Pure USD. It's like
just
websites that you
just
have
like
there that,
Venmo or something. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, PayPal or something.
PayPal.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's that's interesting. But yeah, that's the awesome thing about NFTs. And sorry to cut you off. You're telling a great story of everything.
Mm.
But that's I mean that's what is so cool about the NFTs for the gaming world, at least, is that all the time that everyone's putting into playing these games and unlocking all these cool assets, or putting money in to buy these assets, like, but then not be able to do anything with it but use it in the one game. That's like where like interoperability at like full scale really gets me excited, and that's a ways down the road. Like, don't get me wrong, it's going to be a while before assets are really being able to move from place to place, because there's a lot of back end stuff that needs to get figured out with that. But that is what it's going to solve, and right now it's already solving the fact that you can earn one item and go sell it and not have to sell your entire account. So yeah.
Going to the black markets. For example, I remember back then that game I throwed. It was like that end game type of armors. Like, okay, I just won't get because it gives a huge advantage. I know that I'll be getting, and I remember spending like $150 back then. And they are not NFTs. I just bought an in-game item.
Right, right.
So sometimes you're like, oh, these. How can these sword of a game be so valuable? Like, this is overpriced. I was like, no. If there's a game and there's a huge amount of players playing that game, there's someone that's going to put a price there and is going to say, I'm willing to pay this amount of money for that in-game item because I want it and
Mm-hmm.
I can afford it and it's for sale and why not? So that's how I got to NFTs, because I was reading Play to Earn. NFTs, ownership of your digital goods, let's say like that. And I was like, okay, this solves the problem. Like, I remember playing that game. I was like, why they do not allow a marketplace in game for players to have a way to exchange this for real money? Because if this happens illegally on the black market, it happens. You don't have to close your eyes. It's happening. Either
Yeah,
you like it or not.
yeah.
Maybe embrace it. You could be taking some profit out of it and create actually illegal structures for players to feel safe and not being afraid of being scammed to trade
Mm-hmm.
with each other, because they are willing to pay, and they have put it a price like, okay, this set of armor is worth this amount of euros or dollars or whatever currency you're using. And there are users, and this is peer to peer, so there's no speculation. Pretty much, I would say, like NFTs. There's someone putting an NFT for this price for sale, and there might be someone willing to pay that value, or just put an offer below the floor price or below what you're asking, like, hey, this is what I can give it to you. And this is how you have a working marketplace, is that you have defined prices. Some people buy it from the price you tag in, some people offer a bit lower, and
Yep.
you see like, okay, what is good for me. So back again, that's how I got to discovering what is NFT gaming. And I remember watching some games. I remember seeing Axie, I remember seeing Illuvium, Decentraland, Sandbox, and just discovering these new worlds, I would call it. And when trying to, okay, which game am I going to go with it, I was not even, I did not know anything about the Sandbox. So I was just like, okay, I'm a gamer as well, so let's see what new game can I be trying, this play to earn economy and type of thing. And then I discovered the Sandbox, and it's like, okay, this is completely different. Not only embraces that play to earn aspects and NFTs and ownership, but you can also have lands and build your games on it. And coming back from the board game that we have just designed, I was like, okay, this is actually a perfect transition. We can make the same game because the tools that are available, we can make this work. And the transition just became very, very clear. So I got last year, it's already 1 year since I got my first NFT, which was a Sandbox land, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm very proud to be the first NFT
Yeah, that's
to
awesome that that's your
that I got.
first. Yeah.
It is. It was like, okay, I'm going to crypto first time, getting myself Ethereum for the first time. The first thing I'm going to get it, Sandbox Land.
Yeah. How
And that's how it started.
how was your experience with buying the land? Like, was it pretty easy for you to onboard yourself, or you said you'd already like dabbled with cryptocurrency, so it wasn't like your first time. Like, did you need to set up a wallet and everything, or did you already have a
I
wallet
did.
set up?
No,
Yeah.
I did not have. I had to set it up. Like I got in touch with Bitcoin on 2015. I wanted to get some mining rigs. I was like, Bitcoin was at valued at $200 back then.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, I want to try to do this, like getting the mining rig, Bitcoin. But I wanted to invest, like, I remember like getting 5 mining rigs. You would mine with 1 rig a Bitcoin per year. So it was like 5 Bitcoins per year.
Yeah.
Who would have imagined? But hey,
Who would
that's
have
life.
yeah, who would have known that that would have
Who
been
would have
worth it?
known? And I remember all my family members were like, no, that's a huge waste of money. What are you doing? Bitcoin, what? That's blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah.
well, the rest is history.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was my first time buying a cryptocurrency. It was my first time setting up an NFT. I almost got scammed, honestly, because I was trying to buy it from the Discord marketplace and
Uh
just trying to put a low offer. I was like, almost. So I was always saying like, oh, this is my first purchase, everything. I knew nothing. And the scammer felt so bad to scam me because I was telling why I was buying the land, the project that I was like, man, dude, you know what? I'm going to save your life because I'm a scammer. I'm not going to scam you because
what?
I'm really fun with your story and like I really want to see you succeed. So it's like, dude, pay attention. I was giving you hints. I'm a scammer. Like, be safe. I was like,
That's
okay, oof. I just dodged the bullets.
that's the
Like this.
nicest scammer I've ever heard of. That's
I
awesome
was
though.
yeah. It is. It is. I think it would have been a terrible kickoff. It would have
Yeah.
marked
I think
for
that
sure.
that was probably really eye opening to you though that like, oh shit, like I
Yeah.
do need to pay attention because there's more than just one guy out there like that.
Yeah, I just went directly to OpenSea. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy from OpenSea instead of
Yeah.
trying to deal out off the chain because those were new concepts. OpenSea, off the chain.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to. For me, it's like a peer-to-peer transaction. Okay, I send you the Ethereum, you send me the land like you do on eBay. Like, okay, I pay
Totally.
you and you send me your stuff. But
Yeah.
it does not work that way.
Yeah.
It looks like.
That's
So I
great.
got
That's a really good
a
point for people that are new to this. Like,
yeah.
don't do off the chain stuff right now. Like, there's too much going on that you could easily get scammed, unless it's like your best friend, obviously. But yeah, don't trust DMs. Anyways, back to you.
Learning curve. You have to, unless you feel secure what you're doing, just try to go with the most secure way. You get off either as official Sandbox sale, or either you go to the secondary marketplace, go to OpenSea. There you can see if the land has been flagged that was stolen from someone's wallet. But from there, you know that you're buying from a secure place. Back again to the story. So then I got myself a land. I tried to work on Vox Edit. Worst experience ever. Wasted 4 hours to draw just a very simple bass guitar. That's it was just horrible. I was like, okay, I have no skills for this. I have to gather myself with talented people that share the same vision like
Uh-huh.
myself and just onboard team members that want to also build this and they're good at what they're doing because I know where I'm good at and I know where I'm not good at.
Yep.
So that's how it's all started. So if you're thinking like how the Pickaxe Master was born in terms of everything that we've built, basically I went to the Sandbox Discord and there's those tabs where you are looking for creators and there's looking for designers and all that page where you can meet up with other people. And I was putting ads like, hey, this is the Pickaxe Master, this project, etc. We're looking for team members. Are you interested? And that's how I got to meet Boss Killer, which was the first person I got to meet here at the Sandbox. He's the programmer at our team. He does all the logic and does then all the other programming that is needed. Then I got to meet Gush, which is friend with Gibush. So Gibush
Mm-hmm.
is doing the map design. Gush does all the asset design, and I got to meet Sid from another project, but was also from the Sandbox Discord, and that's how everything started to grow. I got to know other people, other creators that were also interested in building and being part of a long-term project, just not like commissioned work. Like, okay, I just want to get some quick bucks here. I do this work for you, and I do this work for you, and just said, okay, let's do this on the long term.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got MDMA, which he is the animator. He was like, okay, I'm still starting. I don't know much about this. Like, okay, no worries. It's hard to get people that specialize only on animation. So you have time to learn. as long as you have the will to learn, you have a space here to learn and keep doing as you go. And well, passes went by, first animations, repeat, try to do stuff better, get for some feedback, and when you know it, is doing incredible and amazing animations. And I think that has been the the road of us all so far. So we get to know the tools. We're pretty much all inexperienced with the tools, but we get to work at a daily routine with the game maker or Vox Edit, and we become proficient at those tools. So that's the best way to actually just become acknowledgeable and just to work better with the game programs. It's just spend time there, work around yourself there. And
Yeah.
yeah, everything just started to come up together, and we spent 3 months building without sharing anything, without opening up the server, without sharing any Twitter posts. And when we had the solid structure of the game, so we had some basic mining logic working, we had the map basic decoration, but it felt like, okay, we can walk around here, we can stream about this. And then we decided on the 21st of March, okay, let's open up our socials and let's start to spread the word. And from there, our way to show is, okay, let's try to be as transparent as possible. Let's do weekly recaps so everyone's on the same page as we are. If we are succeeding at something, we share what's being at the success, what's the success. If we're failing and we're struggling at some points, we share our pain so that you also are in the same page as us. And as the project keeps progressing and keeps growing, we're always in the same page. You know at what speed, at what stage everything is, and if there's a delay, you know why, because we share it. So there's not like, oh, they're not sharing or what's happening with this project. We're just like, okay, let's try to be as transparent as possible. This is being like also an learning experience. It's different from everything that I've did before in my life, but it feels like it's the Web3 way of doing things. It's IPs, games, brands, doesn't matter, and their community, they're much more intertwined. It's just
Mm-hmm.
not like two separate entities. You know, I come from a music background, so I have been the privilege to do tours, to sign with the major labels like Sony, to get albums delivered out there, to play on football stadiums and do all that kind of stuff. And then you get like, it feels like there's some sort of distance between the band, which could be an IP, could be a company, and then the fans or the followers or the community, whatever you may call it. And it felt like there's this gap, and there's like some sort of intended barrier between one
Mm-hmm.
thing and the other. Like you don't want everyone to get too close to it, and you don't, and brands IPs don't want to get too close to the community because it feels like it's getting too much mashed up. And that concept with Web3 is just completely disappeared. It has decided to, let's take down that barrier and let's merge team with community and do something together with the inputs and all the support and strength and love from the community. The teams and the developers, they drink from it, they learn from it, and they provide the service to build what has been asked because it's your community. They want what you're doing, but they want in this certain way. So either you listen actively and take that feedback as something very, very important and try to deliver as close as possible to what it's being asked you, or you just can go deaf and you go like, I don't care what people are saying. I have my own roadmap. I have my own vision. I'm going to do either you like it or not. So I think that
Mm-hmm.
Web3 kind of mashes up all those to the community and the developers together. And I think that, okay, let's try something new. Let's see how it works. I have to say that everything related to Web3 is a brand new experience. Even the space itself, it's new. So why not ride the wave? Let's learn as we go.
Yep. 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 Yeah. No, that's one of my favorite things that I've always seen you guys do, and I've always thought about doing it myself. Is I love your weekly updates. I think that's so. I love the transparency that that brings, and I think, like you're saying, that does. It really does engage the community because they really do see like what you're going through on a weekly basis, and it shows them that one, you're not just like sitting there doing nothing when they don't see what is happening with a lot of other projects that they're involved in until things get released or whatever. So like it just gives them that transparency to know that you are working on stuff. And two, it shows some of the hurdles that you guys are either encountering or will encounter. Like it shows that things happen, but you're there to react. So I think that's it's great that you guys do those weekly updates, and you guys are streaming like multiple, is it multiple times a week or just one time a week? That's a dope sweatshirt, by the way.
Thank you. I was trying to Huddle Hill, by the way. This is the yellow hoodie. Let me show it.
That's
I did some of this when the Sandbox came here to Portugal at the non-fungible conference. I was like, okay, I need to be recognizable.
Yeah.
And big logo on the sweat, and hey, here it is. I actually like it very much.
I really like that color. I like the yellow color to it, and it looks really good with the logo. So, yeah.
Yeah. Later on, when we get the board game physical edition to be sold at the website, we'll probably make a batch of some sweaters if anyone wants to get one.
Yeah, I think that'd be super cool.
But yeah, answering to your question, yeah, we do stream 3 times per week now.
3 times a week.
We only did 1 time per week, but we felt like, okay, what if so we had a program on Wednesdays, which we call it the Lucky Miner Show, which is a show that we go into our map, we invite everyone to participate, we raffle some pickaxes and show how the game is played, and instead of the players having to pay for their pickaxes like it's going to be when the game is launched in its final version, we just give away them. So basically it's a way to try the game for free. We mine for them. So we ask the question like, okay, where do you want to mine? What type of blocks you want to mine? And everyone can get a glimpse and experience on what it is the Pickaxe Master, and we get to send prizes in the end of the stream. That way also we do, and we try to make this as clear as possible, that we're also doing live tests. We're doing our own sort of alpha on live stream. This is like, okay, this is live. We're going to find bugs. We want to find bugs. We want to find them with you so you can see which bugs are happening. So later on, we have all of these records because it's getting registered. We have on YouTube, we have a playlist of the last, I don't know how many streams we did. So we can go back, see what was the bug, fix it, and have these live. So it's also a way to engage, like, okay, this is the stage we're at. You're seeing the same bugs you're seeing, it's the same bugs we're seeing. We're going to solve it.
Yeah.
And coming week to week, we can see like, okay, this has been solved. We have progressed this, we have changed that. And we decided, okay, what if we were still building? What if we go on Mondays and Fridays as well to also stream to show like what is building and how we're doing things? Like, okay, I do learn. And I think that everyone learns from watching other creators do. For example, I can remember Alfdork as being one of the most predominant streamers in the Sandbox in terms of giving tips and giving tutorials to the community. I think those are very important. We're not that much into the game maker, but especially Gibbous, that is doing most of the decoration and map building. I think it's a different way because that's just pure terraforming and decoration of the map. And well, if you can get tips on how to make a better logic, why not share some tips on how to make a good map? For example, I think that the map we have designed, it looks good. So it's not our place to judge if it's a very good map or not. But in our perspective, okay, we like what we're doing. So let's share our own vision of what we're doing. It might serve as an inspiration to others, maybe not, but hey, let's put this information out there, at least our vision on how to do stuff. And now, with the continuation of it's being a lot of months, and like back to something we talked about earlier, it is to give back to the community. So on Fridays now, we're using that stream to provide an update on the Underground Master, which is a collaborative event that we're doing with Outer Studios. We've come up together as partners, as collabs, and hey, what about you guys have the Underground Pass, which you have all these underground kits. We have the mountains. We are all about caves, tunnels. This feels like a perfect mashup of themes. Why not do we put up a game jam together and we invite all these amazing creators and do something that's just, it's going to be purely stream, speed builds, and we get all of these engagements together with all of the creators, the community, I think that this could be something really cool. And speaking about it, so tomorrow, Friday, we'll be hopping there as well just to give some update. And I have to say that thank you for accepting that challenge,
Yes.
Krafter, with Carrot Rose, that you are both on the same team. I have to say that it's been an amazing experience, that one so far.
It's been a great experience, man. Like I loved when I read through when you initially asked, like I'm really busy these next few months. So like for just full transparency, when he originally asked, I was like, I don't know if I can squeeze this in. But then when I read through all of the like details on what this whole underground master challenge was gonna
Mm-hmm.
be, I was like, damn, like this is a really good idea. Like I have to be a part of this. Like I want to be a part of this. I'll feel FOMO if I'm not a part of it. So like I said yes. And I'm part of it, and I'm so happy I did, because it's been so cool to see how it plays out. And I think it's something that is going to be embraced, and I could see it definitely being done, or at least twists on what you guys are doing being done over and over again throughout the growth of the sandbox and the metaverse in general. So yeah, I think it's a very innovative idea, and I think it's cool to see it rolling out, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. So if anyone hasn't checked it out, make sure you tune in on tomorrow for their stream over on their Twitch, because it'll be cool to just see everything that has happened over the last few weeks. Because for those of you that don't know, it's 4 teams of 2 that are building on a one by one, so just one land
Mm-hmm.
in the sandbox, and it's split up into 4 quadrants. And we're getting to the point where we're starting to merge those quadrants together. But it's super cool. Go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out. We usually use the Fridays just to do a weekly recap, the same like we do for the Pickaxe Master, but that we use it just to make a recap and visit what have been the builds, just to give some highlights to you and all the amazing creators. I think that we're very fortunate for all of you accepting this challenge, and the result of it, it's being beyond amazing. To see everyone to put out their personal touch and their personal soul on it, and you can clearly see the difference between the quadrants and see
Hmm.
how everyone looks at the map and how everyone looks at building, and just watching your streams and see how you look at things and how you make things, and see, and also to see that when you're hopping into your land and you're looking at your neighbors, like, okay, this person has done that, that person has done that, this person has done that, so it means that I think I'm going to do this because it's different, it's going to complement, and it feels like it's some sort of going back and forth of inspiration. It's
Hmm.
like, okay, I'm seeing all around, then I'm going to do this. And then the next person's like, oh, this just popped up. What I'm going to do now? Okay, so in that case, I'm going to do that. And then the next person. So it feels like it's a passing ball, all going all the way.
Yes.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
that that's
it's
the
it, it's great. Creative energy that's like kind of like flowing through the map, and it's like it really is inspiring when you see what somebody else is doing, and then it's not what you had envisioned happening, but then that sparks an idea in your head, and you're like, oh, then I could do this, and then it all starts to like, kind of like morph together. So yeah, it's been a cool experience. I mean, I personally haven't done a whole lot of game designing in my life, but I've never ever worked with like a team, especially a team of, what is it, eight, four times,
eight.
yeah, four times
Yeah, yeah,
two.
yeah.
Do some math in the morning. Yeah, so it's just cool to see how it's all playing out, and now that we're getting to the point where we are kind of collaborating and working together, I think it's going to be even cooler to see where things go, because like you said, everyone has kind of their own skill set and their own way of approaching things. So now it really is going to start morphing, and people can kind of enter their zones of genius. And I think it's going to be amazing to see the end of it, and I can't wait to explore it um, as as a
Yeah, 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 yeah.
as a visitor.
And yeah, I think that will be cool when we get to visit as a visitor, as a player in the social hub. And I just wanted to paraphrase that. It's also one of the things that we also wanted to provide. It would be a way for creators to get in touch. So it's not like we have not knew each other,
Hmm.
especially when we're talking about. everyone that's been there, but having a close collaborations. And I would say, for example, there are some people that have been in the space longer, some other creators that have been in the space not that longer, but it's also a way to provide a platform to get more people thrown out there or shown. And I would say, for example, I don't like to compare, but one thing you can say, for example, King of Crypto has been streaming longer than we have.
Mm-hmm.
So he's way, very, very experienced in what he's doing in the sandbox. For example, Fred and Ferd is one of the earliest, or earliest, soonest, no, I would say earliest
Earliest works.
streamers, yeah, that I've seen. So between King of Crypto and Fred and Ferd, for example, there's a time difference there that's I would not say quite huge, but there's a difference from the times they started to stream. So it's also cool to give also some sort of lifting up to newer creators that can get some sort of more exposure as well. And we're talking about this is the first game jam that has been doing, and the outer studios will do more speed battles in the future. So I think it also is a way to, okay, you're a new creator in the community, you want to get engaged, you want to know what's happening all around the community, and this is also a way to, hey, join in, get to know the other creators, tune in, like in that way it feels like, okay, now I know the other creators, I feel way more involved, I feel much more. And yeah, that was one of the things. The second, the goal of the Underground Master, which I think it's going to be very, very cool, it is to get, for example, the VOD files that you send me whenever you end the stream, that Carrot Rose, Shred and Fur, King of Crypto, everyone, then do a time lapse. So we're talking about 2 hours per week per team. So
Mm-hmm.
that makes 8 hours per week total. If we include the Pickaxe Master that we do also 2 hours, that's 10 hours per week that's spent on the Underground Master project. Throughout 6 weeks, that's 60 hours. And the time lapse that we want to do is if you spend 60 hours, which is 1 hour per day for 60 days, so 2 months, this is the map you can build. So it's some sort of way to demystify that it's too complex, or you need that, this or that, or you need a crazy amount of time to build an immersive map on the sandbox. And this way will also serve to somehow demystify that and like, hey, come create. It's actually not that hard. If you spend your regular 1 hour per day and you have, okay, you're define what you want to do, you log into the map and you start building. This map was built in 60 hours. So if this map was built in 60 hours, okay, they are experienced creators, they know what they're doing, but hey, this can be done. Maybe it will take some more time to reach to achieve this, but this map was done in 60 hours. So that I think that will be some sort of way to give an invitation,
Uh-huh.
especially when there's new game jams coming on, or just like just to have a tutorial, like you're discovering the sandbox. Hey, okay, let's watch out these, those amazing titles like build this amazing land 1 hour per day. But it feels like a clickbait, but it isn't. It's actually a tutorial that we
Right.
did all together. So I
No.
think in the end, it will be really cool to see like time lapsing, seeing you create all those fast forwards, like tick, 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 building, and
Yep.
then going to carrot rows, tick, 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 and then just going all around and see week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and the map just emerging, growing, getting finished.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I want to highlight what you just said because that's such a great thing to broadcast out there is that if you are consistent and build like you're saying even for 1 hour a day, like you can accomplish so much. And I was guilty of it as a game developer in training. Is whenever I was first learning about game maker, I was like I was very intimidated by it because there is a learning curve, like but once you get over that hump, then you really start to shoot
Yeah,
because then things start to get you start get in your groove. You start to figure out how you like to build. And so just for anyone that's starting, like get over that initial learning hump, and then you'll find your groove, and you'll be golden. And all that takes is, like you said, like an hour a day. Just stay consistent with it, because what was I saying? Oh yeah, like that was me even, where I was like, like I saw you guys building this amazing map, and like King of Crypto had an awesome built out map, and I had been focused on like our avatars basically, and then I was like, okay, I want to start working on our game. But like it was slow, but then once you get to that point, then you're like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Now I can crank out things, like I said, in an hour a day. Like in 1 week, I built out 3 games, like, and they're just mini games, but like three mini games that are going to be part of our big game system. So like, it. I guess what I'm trying to reiterate is just do. If you're interested in building in the metaverse, just get out there and do it. Like download the software and start messing around with it. Watch, show up to stream, show up to watch different YouTube videos, and just kind of get your toes wet and start learning. Because like I keep saying, once you get over that learning hump, the sky's the limit. So it's definitely
Yeah,
worth
it
it.
is. And that was the second part. It's like, for example, when you're on stream, you do share amazing tips. Like I remember also Maddox, OG Shakespeare. Sometimes you're building, you just go like, you know what I'm doing here. I'm doing this because of this, and I'm like, okay, this is an amazing tip, and that's the second part of it. Is like you're saying, there's this learning curve, and what we also want to do is one, get that time lapse video, and the second is trim all of those parts where you and other creators are doing tutorials, like your own vision on how to approach the game maker, on why do you use this type of assets, why you build this way. Trim and get all those short clips, and then make like some sort of compilation of tutorial videos that have went through the underground master. So it also serves as the some educative way as well to give back to the community.
No,
So I think with that, everyone's a participant there because everyone's giving their tips. And if you look into the future, one of the things that we also wanted to highlight is, okay, all of these amazing creators not only are participating here, but we're going to immortalize these moments in these two videos, which will be the time lapse and all the tutorials combined together. Which in the end, it's also like you're saying, imagine in 1 year or 2 years from now, maybe that video, it was an inspiration and helped other new creators now that's in 1 year is like, okay, I got in because I saw the underground master video. They had such amazing tutorials, that time lapse that inspired me. And I remember watching Krafter tips, and then it was OG Shakespeare tips. Like that video, that compilation has so many information that helped us a lot. Like, so
yeah,
that's what we wanted to also to provide, like as a immortalization of the moment, and leave something for everyone to watch and get something out of it as well, not only as entertainment.
totally. And I think you guys are doing a great job of that. And it's, I mean, I'm really excited now to kind of see the end product of all the different videos that come out of it too. Because like you're saying, there are, and it's hard not to do it. At least from my perspective, it's hard not to, like, when you're building, even though we're on a time crunch, it's hard not to like teach as you're going, because it's like you think of things and you're like, oh, like other people are watching, like they probably want to know what I'm thinking through. And so there's going to be all kinds of cool little clips like that come out of this as well, that you're just like, and probably tips that maybe somebody wouldn't think of to go sit down and make a video specifically about that.
Mm-hmm.
But because they were in the moment, they brought it up, and it was a good lesson, and now it'll be out there for people to learn about. So so yeah, I think
It is pretty much like that. It's more practical tips than rather like how to set up an RNG, how to do this. Those type of tutorials. It's more like on the fly, like those smart tips. Like you're doing something like, hey, did you know if you click here, this happens? It's like you're not going to make a tutorial video out of that small tip, but if you gather all of those, it can be something really cool.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, we've been doing that on the Underground Master, which is being something we're going on week 4. We're pretty much halfway through the contest, and well, I'm very eager and excited to see what's going to come up next week, since now the collaboration part, it has really begun.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be fun to see the collaborations starting to roll out. And for everyone that doesn't know, how many weeks are there going to be for the challenge before it's over?
It's 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
At least that's what we have fixed. I don't know if by the end of the contest, like if everyone's like, give us an extra week just to end that, we're like, okay, maybe we can do that. But at least what stated, it's okay, 6 weeks, then
Yep.
we end it and we do a big ceremony. We're talking about having us and outer studios and just invites all of the creators. So have like a really and big stream, let's say, where we have you and everyone else on the stream to go into the quadrants, to walk around, to talk about it, and just then at the end, when everyone has shown their piece of creation, then we announce the winners, we announce the category winners, and have a really cool moment all together. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
also,
gonna.
we're saving also some small interview for you and everyone else at the end. We have I don't want to spoil on that, but we have some sort of final questions regarding the experience towards the end. And yeah, I'm going to love what you have to say about it.
Nice, nice. I'm excited for
Yeah.
that. That's gonna be fun. I hope that, and maybe this is in the works, but if it's not, you should get it in the works.
Mhm.
I feel like the Sandbox should be able to make this into a social hub in the draft gallery, so that like for that show or whatever, we like everyone, like whoever's tuning in could also show up and join the social hub, kind of like Sandstorm does.
Mhm.
Because I know there's a few, at least there's a few hubs out there right now that you can join in the draft gallery and actually treat it as a social hub. So I don't know, maybe something to
Okay.
I don't know who to talk to about that personally, because I'm trying to figure out the same thing for hosting the show from the metaverse.
Mhm.
But that would be something cool too.
That would be something cool. You thank you for the tip. I'll try to see if that's possible. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
if
I think
you,
it would be cool
yeah,
to have like everyone joining actually there and explore the map. Like imagine we get there and you see everyone jumping around while we have on the stream and we're talking on the stream and we get to see everyone exploring the land and also give their feedback while we do this ceremony. That would be perfect. And
yeah,
yeah, I'll try it out.
it'd be super cool. I think that'd be awesome. So yeah, and if I'm actively trying to figure out how to get our social hub on as a draft too. So if I find out something, I'll let you know. Um, who to talk to, and you do vice versa if you figure out somebody to talk to about it. But anyways, this is business talk on the podcast. What's up, guys? um, um, also, by the way, shout out chat. Just so you guys know, I do always see all of your chats that come in, but like with the conversation flowing, it's a lot of times it doesn't make sense to bring it up, and then afterwards we've already passed it. So, but I do appreciate all the comments that come in. I read them; they make me laugh sometimes. Um, just I love that you guys are hanging out and chiming in. And if you do have any questions, obviously feel free to drop those in. But I want to get to what I'm very curious about. Let's segue over now that we've gone and done a deep dive into kind of the come up and everything that's led up to where we are today, which I think is perfect. Is let's talk a little bit about the NFT drop that you guys have coming up, because that's super exciting, and congrats, by the way, on getting all of that solidified. I know it's been a journey for you guys, so it's cool to see that all come to fruition.
It is. It has been an amazing journey. So we have started to do this uh, almost close to 12 months now. So we're getting close to 1 year of development. And yeah, we've been working every day. And it feels like this moment is a celebration. And it's just a wrapping up together of all this time working as a team for such a long period to be able to get to this stage, getting the game almost ready to get reviewed, to have the opportunity to be on Alpha Season 4, and then do the NFT drop, where all the play to earn game modes will also start with this. So we're pretty much excited. We feel blessed. We feel honored to be able to do this NFT drop. And yeah, there's so much to be said with it. How to start? I think we should. We have the trailer. I think we should start that way. People who are like, okay, what are the pickaxes? What are the prices? What are everything? Maybe we go there, and that might lead to some questions also at everyone that's watching this stream. So, what
Yeah,
do you say
I think
we
that's a
we
good
roll it?
idea. Yeah, we'll roll the trailer and then we'll go from there. Did you drop that in the chat? Actually, I don't see it.
Yes, I did.
It's
It's
the
the oh.
Is it the Medium article? Is it in there?
It's yeah, it is in the Medium article. There's a link at the end, if I'm not mistaken. But I can send you that real fast as well
I
if
found
you want.
I found it. I got it.
Okay, perfect.
You're good. Let me share my screen, y'all. and we'll watch this trailer and get a little overview of the drop that's happening. And then if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. All right, share my screen. Come on. Boom. Boom.
There we go.
Boom.
Maybe it does not want to play.
I was gonna say, is it working?
I just switched back to Twitch just to see if it was working. It seems like your stream is still running. We've paused this preview to save your resources. So I'm not sure if it does not like. Maybe I can try to share.
Let's try this, y'all.
But you will not have the sounds. Yeah, I'm getting some. I'm not sure if everyone's hearing that, but there's actually some static going on. So we're seeing here, can we talk over it?
Yeah.
Can people hear us? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically these are the pickaxes that will be put it out on the NFT drop. And as you can see, there's some that are props, one that is common. We got now, this is the gold pickaxe, which is a rare pickaxe. This was actually a good roll here. You can see the scarcity, that is, for example, this one is 100 out of 1,000, which means that we have minted 1,000 of those, but only 100 will be put up for sale. So that's only 10% of the supply that will be put it up for sale. Everything else will only be obtainable through gameplay, which means that this can take actually years for everyone to get all of this taken out from the market, which we do believe that's what's going to happen. So here, this is the ultimate tier, the diamond pickaxe. It's a legendary. And we have some very cool features about it. So not only they are the most powerful items and they hold the most utility to it, which is something that it's very important. They unlock certain features that are very unique, and we'll get to it. I'm not sure if I can share a lot today because we have some beans prepared for tomorrow. For example, this one, the pickaxe pendant. This pickaxe, only 3 of those will be sold. There's only 10 of them, and the only way to get the others is by crafting.
Ooh, crafting. I love crafting whenever anyone incorporates that in.
And these are the minor deaths. That's just a spoiler right there at the end. Which is, there's all these. I'm not sure about you, but I'm hearing some static. I'm not sure if everyone. Okay, it has ended now. Back to normal.
Hopefully it wasn't.
Everyone.
Hopefully the sound didn't suck. If it did suck, I'm sorry, guys. But still figuring out the best way to share screens and stuff.
We're all learning here.
Yeah,
it's a learning curve. Don't worry about it.
Here, let me do this actually, guys, just for good measure. If you guys weren't able to see it, I think it sounds like you were able to see it, but there's a link in the Twitch chat if you guys do want to go watch it on your own. Because you're a crafter, that's true.
Put a subscribe there, and hope that you enjoy it. And speaking about it, so we have several tiers of pickaxes. Why is that? What's all that about? So we got the props, we got the common, we got the rare, the epic, and the legendary. Different tiers. So the way we decided to treat our NFTs was to, instead of just whitelist this certain NFT or that certain NFT for any reason, we have decided to actually put a tiered level. So this utility will go to common NFTs. This utility will go to rare, and this utility will go to epic. So we decided some sort of segment the utility into based off the rarity, because I remember seeing other collections that's having a legendary, having a common. It did not seem to grant you much utility one over the other. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the stats themselves, it did not seem to provide much more utility, and I felt like this is a waste of a chance to create some sort of segmentation of what you can provide as value back to the NFT owners. With that reason, we thought, okay, if we want to keep expanding the collection in the future, like you cannot create one specific utility for every single new NFT that you're going to create. It's easier to bundle utilities into tiers, and then they share that to provide a tokenomic that's strong enough to be built upon for the long term.
Mm-hmm.
So being that said, we have the crafting feature and you have play to earn modes. So I think that I can start with the crafting feature so you can understand how it will unlock the play to earn modes. So on the crafting feature, there's going to be a vertical crafting and there's going to be an horizontal crafting. And what does that mean? So basically, the way that the game is played is that you can get resources from mining on the Misty Mountain, which means that when you're playing the game and we have the wallet integration on the Sandbox, you'll be able to collect these resources as NFTs as well. While they're NFTs, it means that with the pickaxe you own, and let's say as an example, the wooden pickaxe, which is the lowest tier of them all, you're going to collect some iron ores, you're going to craft iron bars with it, and then when you get enough resources to match the recipe, you're going to combine those resources with the wooden pickaxe. There's going to be a smart contract over our website. You'll say craft, and then you're going to lose that wooden pickaxe. You're going to lose those resources, but you're going to receive your upgraded pickaxe, which will be the iron. So we call this the vertical. Next step, you're going to gather silver resources. You're going to mine in the mountain. You're going to get those silver ores, those silver nuggets as NFTs. You're going to have them as resources in your wallet, which you can imagine you can sell them on the secondary marketplace, or you can buy them on the secondary marketplace if there's anyone selling those. And by getting those resources, you can craft again a silver bar. And with those silver bars, then you collect the amount needed to match on the recipe. Back again, you go to the website. There's this crafting area where you put your iron pickaxe and the silver bars. And then you're going to lose the iron pickaxe, the silver bars, but you're going to receive your silver pickaxe. And these will be now a common item, which is more scarce than the others. These will go, all these crafting recipes, in a vertical way, all the way down to the diamond pickaxe, which is the top tier of them all. So now we have unlocked and discovered how it works, the vertical crafting of it. And now speaking into play to earn, because there's now other things about the crafting, but I'll get to them later to understand better. The play to earn modes and expansions we're building, they're tied up to these pickaxes. So they start at the common pickaxe. So when you get a common pickaxe, you'll enter the first game mode that there's going to be, which will be the mining seasons, when we launch the game, that hopefully will be during Alpha Season 4. And with that, we're going to set up a leaderboard. You're going to mine, you're going to record your gameplay, you're going to take some screenshots, you're going to upload them, we're going to verify, and we'll set up a leaderboard for the players that own this NFT, which is a silver pickaxe. It's the lowest tier to enter the play to earn game modes. And we'll set up a leaderboard that will, in the end of that season, contain prizes for you. Now, you may think, okay, these will be, for example, when you go to the gold pickaxe, it's not that we're going to create a different leaderboard, a different season for it. We're going to bundle at this stage, because this is the first season. There's a lot of to be developed, and we cannot throw everything at once. That's just first time. So we're going to bundle common and rare pickaxes at first, and then if you own a ruby or a diamond, which is an epic or a legendary, you'll enter other play to earn modes. So it will be some sort of high tier. So since there are less NFTs, there's less people competing for that one, which makes you it gives you more chances to end in the paid prizes. Now, one thing that we have also put into the crafting system is that when you craft a new item, all the previous utility will be passed on, will be carried on to the new pickaxe. So if with the silver pickaxe you get access to the first play to earn gaming mode, which is the mining seasons, and you get access to the lowest tier, not the lowest, but let's call it the general tier. When you get yourself a ruby pickaxe, now you get the utility to get into these more exclusive mining season leaderboard, which is only for epic and legendary pickaxe holders. But since utility will pass on from one pickaxe to the other, of course, if you own a ruby or a diamond, you will also be eligible to participate in the same one as if you had a gold or a silver pickaxe, because utility passes on from one to the other.
Does
With that being said,
sorry to
yeah.
So question. I was trying to hold
Good.
off my questions, but I'm just going to inject them into the conversation.
Okay.
So, if you buy a ruby or a diamond, does that like grandfather you into the general thing, or does it have to be crafted to be hold on to? Am I making sense?
Yeah, you're making sense.
Yeah.
Well, in the first place, it will have to be crafted because someone has to mine it. But then you can put it on the secondary. So you're the one who mined it, and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to sell to the game. I'm going to hold this because someone might want this to use, because they might be missing this ruby to get into the next crafting stage. So you know what? I'm going to put it on the secondary and see what offers I'm going to receive for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, it's also a way to stimulate an economy out of it. Since you can trade whatever you mine on the Misty Mountain, whenever there's wallet integration, you'll be able to trade directly with the Pickaxe Master to get sand prices. So you know that there's a floor. It cannot go, if it goes below that, it's not worth to sell it. You just sell directly to the game. So you're selling directly to us. We'll buy it.
You're basically, you guys are pegging the value at X amount.
Yeah. Yes, that has come with our tokenomics of the way that we do it in terms of rewards you will be getting and how much it costs to get you a pickaxe. That way, we know that we have a sustainable way to, if people want to sell their prizes, we have enough cash flow to always pay back for that prize. So that way, we are able to put a floor price into the resources, which means that everything that gets sold, it only makes sense to being sold on the secondary marketplace higher than that value, because if it goes lower, I'm just going to sell it directly, so it never gets lower than that value. That way, it's a way to protect the ecosystem. So the way you're saying, yeah, someone can buy it off the secondary, and you can use them to use it for your as long as you have all the materials needed for the crafting recipe, then you can use it to upgrade your pickaxe.
And so if you were saying, maybe I misunderstood, but you were saying that if you have a ruby or a diamond pickaxe, you get access to another level of play to earn.
Exactly.
But you also have access to the general play to earn, correct?
Yep, correct. Exactly.
And the NFT drop that's coming up includes ruby and diamond pickaxes. So if somebody were to buy a ruby or diamond pickaxe off of that, they would be able to participate in both play to earns.
Exactly.
Right away.
The thing is, yep, right away. As soon as the mining seasons get delivered, which will be at the same time as the game gets debuted on the Sandbox, it will be from day one. You're ready to go. The only difference is that compared to silver and gold pickaxes, we're only going to sell 25 ruby pickaxes and 5 diamond pickaxes, which means that's a total of 30 players if there's no repeated. We also have the Didona pickaxe. We have the pickaxe pendant with Didona, which we're only going to sell 3 of those, which is basically this. It's an NFT that comes with a physical item, which is, this is gold from 10 grams of gold, 10 grams of silver, and then you can choose between a ruby, an emerald, a sapphire, or a black diamond. So basically, it's a collaboration that will shorten the gap between the metaverse, digital, and physical goods as well.
That's
so
cool.
That's also legendary NFT. So if you, and this is where I wanted to go on the horizontal type of crafting. So, and the way that we're designing this is, if you get the NFT from Didona, which will be the Didona key, The Didona key will have its own, so it will be like the Pickaxe Bandit. You'll be able to claim. This is from what I've understand. I don't want to put words that then it will not be as they wanted because stuff change. So
Yeah.
this is at least what we're thinking about. So it does not mean that's going to be truly the end of it.
It's still a work in progress.
Exactly. So, but the plan is, and tomorrow we're going to announce it this week, Outer Studios. It is pretty much more confirmed that's going to happen. So we want to set up this type of logic, which is you have the Didona key, which will be an NFT from their own collection, which they'll be able to put their own price, their own utility, and at least this is what we've been talking. The utility for their NFT is to get access to their VIP area on their map as well. They are a representation of Padova, which is where Didona is located. It's an Italian city. And by holding that Didona key, you'll get access to enter that VIP area, and you'll get access to discounts at the Didona shop. So they're basically a jewelry brand. If you combine, again, you go to the websites and you're getting this crafting recipe, and if you combine your diamond pickaxe with the Didona key, altogether you'll lose both, but now you receive the pickaxe pendant with Didona, which not only you get all the utility from the Pickaxe Master, so you get access to all of these play to earn game modes, but you also get the utility from Didona, which is claim the physical item and access to all the VIP features from them. You get you have two different NFTs, two different utilities. You combine, you get one with both utilities. So this is what we call the horizontal crafting, the way to do. So we have vertical, where we can progress, and then we can get these very specific and rare pickaxes, which will be fruits of collaborations, which will be later on with expansions, new pickaxes that we will put up with new crafting recipes. But the thing is, the utility always migrates from the previous pickaxe to the next one. That way, the pickaxes can only grow in utility, providing more value over time to the same NFTs.
Mm-hmm. No, that's super cool. I love that you have both the vertical and the horizontal. Because I mean it's just gonna open up so many opportunities and different ways for you'll have different different gamers and collectors doing different things, but it opens up so many different things that people can do depending on what they like to do. I'm sure you'll have some people that are just in the game just to mine the resources and then go sell them on secondary for a little bit over the floor price or whatever, and like
get some profits. Yeah,
there's gonna be so many different ways to play the game. So it's cool and it's exciting to kind of hear.
Some people might be too busy to just, take some time to actually mine and get lucky to get the resources. You know what? I don't have all the time for that. I rather pay a bit more than the floor price or pay whatever the floor price might be and just get those resources for me to get crafting and progress. And just to conclude this, the part of utility. So that's the first play to earn game mode. The second one, which we'll be making since we're wrapping up the Misty Mountain experience, we will be designing the version 2 of the website where all of this that we have talked about, the crafting options will be included, but also the board game. We're going to put up the digital version of the board game in the website, which will be free to play. So everyone can gather around together. They can make like, okay, hey, everyone who wants to play some board games, free to play. You can join in, make a room, you get 3 of your friends and you play together. And then for owners of pickaxes, there's going to be unlocks again of the tournaments that will be play to earn tournaments. So we're going to set up big tournaments for pickaxe holders, and by owning, for example, a silver, you'll access the general tournament. If you own a ruby or a diamond, you'll access the high tier tournaments. Again, dividing utility or splitting utility through the tiers. But if you own a diamond pickaxe, you'll be able to enter not only the high tier tournament, but the general tournament as well, because utility passes from one to the other.
Mm-hmm. No, that's
awesome. For the others, that's what we want to implement.
What is a tournament gonna consist of? Do you guys have that hashed out yet, or is that still something that's in progress or not for the public's eyes?
Well, it will be the same. So the way that when you look at the board game, you'll see that it resembles very much the game that we have on the Sandbox. So
Okay.
it will be basically the same. We have 4 players. You're going to buy pickaxes. You're going to expand your mine, and you're going to get those resources. The player that gather more resources win the game. So it's basically the same as the mining seasons,
Oh,
but as a board game.
okay. It's gonna be a tournament for the board game. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool, cool.
Trying to get the most play to earn functions around the game itself,
Uh-huh.
so we can get as most utility we can get for the game. So it's trying to bring like play to earn gaming modes within the same platform. So you get play to earn from physical board, from the board game, which comes from physical, then Web 2, which is the website, and then Web 3, which is the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to get all those tiers levels connected.
Yeah, you got all 3 layers. That's awesome. I didn't realize that the tournaments were gonna be the board game, but that makes more sense now that I line it all up in my brain. Like that's super rad. Um, as far as the board game goes,
Mm-hmm.
how far or close are you guys to? Uh, actually, maybe I should rephrase it. Are you guys focused on releasing the physical board game or the digital board game first?
That's a good question. The board game is ready, by the way. It's I have all the files ready to go for production. I just have to find, because all the companies that I find here in Europe, they're either written in Swedish or German, and Germany then don't have translators. So I'm getting
Mm,
a rough time to get a grasp on that, and with the Game Maker Fund and all the deadlines that we have to go on schedule,
mm-hmm.
and with the NFT drop, there's just too much going on. So I was like, okay, the board game is ready, but there's too much going on at this stage on the Sandbox that I'm going to put this on hold,
Sure.
get everything, the NFT drop, the deliver of the game, and then just that small time in between waiting and of making fixes, reviews until we get to Alpha Season 4, then it's going to create more space. And then, okay, now that we're not building all of this stuff, now we can focus on actually get the quotation, make the board game to production, put it up for sale, and then build on the digital version. So what's going to be first? I don't know. Maybe both at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe both at the same time. Maybe I'm not sure, but I hope to get that answer in a few months.
That's totally fine. I mean, that's understandable, and I think that's the thing that I consistently run into too. Is like it's like there's so many things that I want to be releasing and working on, and it's like you gotta pick what you focus on and get that rolled out, and it's a process. So that's cool. But you mentioned that you guys are hoping to be in Alpha Season 4 of the Sandbox. For those of you that are living under a rock, Alpha Season 3 just got done. Nobody knows when Alpha Season 4, well, I'm sure some people do, but we don't know when Alpha Season 4 is going to be. But that's exciting. Is there things that you're waiting on as far as technical stuff to be worked out so that the game works in the alpha, or what are you trying to figure out as far as being involved in the alpha, or is it more so just a process of just getting approval from the sandbox that you're waiting on?
I think that's pretty much a standard approval. I'm not sure because this is the first time we do it, so it's
Mm-hmm.
not like we're experienced at it and we like can tell much about it. We're learning as we're living.
Yep.
Uh, but basically, for example, on the NFT drop, we had our assets design, and then we realized that we had to fix some assets because there's some specific guidelines on how equipment should be and how it does not should be. And then you have, oh, this makes sense, but okay, we had did it differently. Now we have to fix it, and that happened until everything. Okay, this is how it's supposed the games to work because it is something related to the game engine. So you have to make the items so that they work with the game engine as they were designed. With the game itself, I think it's the same. So you're going to put up a game that's going to play it for thousands of players, the same way that we can put the game on the Game Maker Gallery, and then it can be tested through the whole community, and you gather feedback from it, and then you can correct it and make it better. I think it's probably the same process, but the difference is that that does not go through the Game Maker Gallery. it goes to a team of Q&A that they will test it out. They will try, for example, the GMA show. I think it's a perfect example of how they try to break your game. And
Hmm.
by breaking your game, they'll show points where you need to improve your map. For example, the player gets stuck here. This cannot happen. You have to fix it. The player also gets stuck there. It cannot happen. You have the quest broken in this place. You have to fix this. Or small stuff like that. So
Yep.
since we have been working for so long time, we did have a good chance to check for a lot of places to see if we can get stuck somewhere. But it's a huge map. Probably we've missed a
Right,
couple of
right.
them. So having a lot of other hands, a lot of other eyes, trying to test the map and getting feedback back on it, I think that's what's going to happen because the experience you've seen on Alpha Season 3, well, is not that you could get stuck on places and everything was working. So they underwent through that testing process. So I believe that's what's going to happen with us. It's that process as well.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I mean, it's it's cool that they're, I guess, like taking the time to find all of those like issues that could potentially happen even at like an alpha state, because I know like I mean it's alpha, so like you should expect there to be bugs and stuff, but um it does seem like they're doing their due diligence to at least try to prevent the obvious bugs that could have been prevented by just a little different style of game development or whatever, or not allowing a player to go into this section or whatever it is. There's all kinds of different ways to fix that kind of stuff, but yeah, and that's all just a process. So hopefully hopefully we do get to see you in season 4, and if not, I'm sure we'll see you in one of the seasons coming up here shortly. It seems like, and I'm totally just making this up, but it seems like the alphas are probably going to be um sooner, more close together than they have been in the past. But that's just a guess on my part. But I do hope that we're making progress, and I feel like we should be approaching the beta version here sooner rather than later. But again, I don't know what's all going on behind the scenes, so nobody really does unless you're on the team. But it's all speculation at this point. But they're definitely making strides in the right direction, and I know there's a lot of disgruntledness around how some things happened with season 3. But I would say from a player's perspective, not so much somebody that's trying to earn and make as much as they can off of speed running and whatnot, and climbing the leaderboard, but from just like exploration and just wandering around the metaverse. I think they really knocked it out of the park with the last season. So there's definitely been a lot of really cool progress. So I'm excited to see more maps like yours pop into the next alpha, and yeah. As far as the NFT drop, I feel like that you guys are dropping. I feel like you didn't mention, or maybe it went over my head, but when is the drop happening?
Oh yeah, we did not mention. So the drop is going to happen on the 30th of November.
Uh huh.
So basically, it's in 1 week, less than 1 week happening. It's going to be at 3 p.m. UTC. So probably depending where you are on the states, it will be around 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. maybe.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds about right. I'm the worst at
It sounds about right.
converting time, but I think that's about what it should be. Um,
So yeah, it's going to be on the 30th of November. We're going to do the NFT drop, which we are lucky enough to actually coincide with the Lucky Miner show as well. So we'll be able to be live when this event happens. And also we're going to have an AMA on the official Sandbox channel later on. So on the United States, it will still be on the 30th of November. On my time, it will be already 1 December. But if you're around that area of South Korea, Australia, that will be like probably in the morning, like 9 a.m. in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So that will happen in my end. It will be at 1 a.m. UTC, 1st of December. Probably in your time zone, it will be around 8 p.m. PST. It's EST, Central
PST.
Time, CST.
PST, I know they're all they're so good. They're so confusing, but
Okay,
yeah, PST is Pacific time. Um,
Pacific. Okay, no, so it
yeah,
should be EST.
EST is the
No,
East. CST
CST.
is Central. CST is my time. PST and
Okay,
EST, it's whatever. We make things
I'm
confusing over
still
here. I feel like if we would all just use UTC, everyone would understand, but we don't. So
1 year after trying to figure out time zones. It's like, okay, you have learned
I
nothing
just
with it. Wait, hey,
I
now
always
I know, like, oh, there's PST, there's UTC, there's a lot of time zones.
yeah, there's plenty. That's why I always use what is the Savvy Time. it's a
But
it's a it's an app, or not an app, a website, but
usually I use the time converter,
time
which
converter.
was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was very good tip that I got from Lucas. And Daddy told me, like, this is what I use, the World Time Buddy. This is the best one. Like, since he showed me that direction, I don't want to use anything else. Like, that's the best friend to know what time zone you're in. But yeah, let me drop a link on the chat, which is so we're going to have the AMA on the Sandbox official channels,
And that'll
and
be,
there's
will that be on like streamed on like Twitch and stuff, or just
yeah, it should be on
yeah.
Twitch. It should be on YouTube. I know that this one is announced on YouTube, so I'm trying to look here at the Twitch. Okay, here it is. I'm going to drop the link here, and you can see it's already announced. It will go live in 6 days, and I'm not sure if you can put a notification. Yeah, you can put a notification here, so you get the notification that whenever this AMA is going to be live, you'll know. Well, if you're on the Discord, if you follow Twitter, you'll also know, because we'll make some pings there. We'll make some tweets about it, so you know that whenever the time is coming, you can join us there as well.
Yeah, make sure you guys are following Pickaxe Master over on Twitter, because that, from what I'm aware of, is probably the best place. Unless you're not, another great place to stay up to date on everything they're doing is obviously to get in their Discord. So, but I'm gonna drop.
Twitch, Discord, Twitter. And speaking in Twitter, there's a lot of giveaways happening right now. So if you like what's being said here and you're interested in the Pickaxe Master and all the play to earn utilities, so we're doing a giveaway since Monday of 1 silver pickaxe per day until the launch day, which is the 30th. So you have plenty of time to participate. Go there, one per day, so the chances get increased, because you can participate in all of the days. You just have to follow the rules, which is put a subscribe, put a like, retweet, and tag 3 friends. So there's going to be, it was from Monday until 30, so that's 9 pickaxes that are going to be raffled silver, which means those, not only they are equipables in the sandbox and you can use it as a weapon on the sandbox throughout any game, it also serves as a pass to enter the play to earn economy that we're building at the Pickaxe Master. So get your sand ready, choose the pickaxe you like the most, or the one that think it will fit you the most, in terms like, okay, I remember I got some feedback, and we got someone that said, okay, you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy the gold pickaxe, and then I'm going to play the game, I'm going to get the resource, and then I'm going to upgrade my pickaxe to a ruby one. I was like, okay, you already got your strategy. So whatever fits best your strategy and the utility that you want to get before everyone else, decide what pickaxe you want to get, and in top of that, there's this giveaway. From the 21 of the 39 pickaxes are being given away. Just go there, follow the rules, put the subscribe, retweet, tag 3 friends, and you get yourself a chance to win one of those silver pickaxes for the general play to earn game modes.
Heck yeah. Everyone loves giveaways. Go enter those giveaways. Drop the links in the chat, or in the, well, it'll be in the description for the replay, but in the chat for Twitch, guys. So go into that giveaway. And I think you've done a great job of kind of giving a good explanation of everything that's going on. Unless we missed anything that you want to bring up, I think we've covered mostly everything that we should have talked about. If anyone does have any questions in chat, obviously drop them now. I'm going to ask one final question that came to my mind while we're going through this, and then if we don't have any other questions, I'll give you the stage one last time, just kind of plug everything, which you kind of already did. So, and then we'll say goodbye. But my question was for the drop. You have a certain amount out of the total for each of the pickaxes. So like, what was it? 1,000 silver pickaxes out of 10,000, or what was the numbers?
No,
Am I
for
making
the
that
silver
up?
pickaxes, yeah. So I can set the numbers. So for the props, which is the ones that do not have gems, catalysts, or no utility, they're just a part of the first pickaxes to be crafted. There's 10,000, and from those, only 10%. So only 1,000 will be put up for sale. When it comes to starting the utility, which will be the silver pickaxes, there are 5,000, but only 500 will be put up for sale. For the gold pickaxe, there's 1,000 and only 100 will put up for sale. The ruby, there are 250, only 25 will be put up for sale. And for the diamond, there are 50, only 5 will be put up for sale. For the pickaxe pendant with Didona, there's only 10 and only 3 will be put up for sale. So what we want is, this is a way for everyone that wants to play the game and wants to get early access, they can through this way, because everything else, the only way to be obtainable, it will be through gameplay. So once these are out, these are gone, they're not going, you cannot get them back, at least sold by us. You might be able to get them through the secondary, through someone else, but from us, that's done. The only way you can get these pickaxes, it will be through gameplay. So if you want to get early into the play to earn stages and just to be one of the first, this is the way you can do it. And secondly, it also serves as a way for us as a team to get some funding to keep developing into the future and expand the team, and basically, to get some funding to keep progressing on development.
Which is important, guys. Like, if you do want to support creators, this is the best way to do that, is to buy their NFTs that they're releasing so that they can continue to create and provide what you are hoping to get from them. So go support. Make sure you unstake some of your sand so that you can buy whatever you're planning on buying over on the 30th. Yeah, the 30th.
Yep.
And that'll be live in the Sandbox marketplace, correct?
That is correct.
Yes.
That's actually the only way you can buy it. It's directly from the Sandbox marketplace. It's not being sold on OpenSea.
Okay, perfect. And then I guess to continue my question, just a little bit. So if somebody is wanting to, so they don't buy any of these initial pickaxes, but they want to start playing the game later on whenever it's open to whoever. Do they, like, when you start playing the game, do you get a pickaxe, or you still would need, like, if anyone who wants to play the game, they would need a pickaxe, so they would have to go to secondary to get that pickaxe, or how does that work?
Okay, so the only, actually I said something wrong. So the only pickaxe will actually be put up for sale, since for a long time it will be the first one, the wooden pickaxe. It just serves for you as a starting point to keep progressing. So when you craft that and go into iron pickaxe with the smart contract, we'll be getting that wooden pickaxe back. So that way we have some sort of rotating supply.
Okay.
So that way we never run out, unless like someone, I want to hold 10,000 NFTs and just like, okay, these are all my pickaxes. I don't know. We'll have to see how that works, if it comes to it. But we're not expecting for someone to buy 10,000 pickaxes, because it's just crazy. That's just crazy.
If something weird that happens, you guys can pivot and do something else. But yeah, I don't think that'll happen either.
Yeah, there's ways to go around that. Like if people are trying to rig you, like, well, we're the team, we're the creators, we can go around it. So that's not how everything was designed to be. Anyway, that's something that we hope that never happens, and that's just speculation. But yeah, that's the thing. We will only be selling the wooden pickaxe that costs 2.1 sand. So at today prices, that's like
Uh-huh.
$1.
Yeah. So
So that's the
if
entry price.
somebody would want to start playing the game, that would be what they would like. They would need to have $1
Yeah,
to start
basically
playing, and
that's it.
then they can start mining, and then as they mine, then they could go and either exchange what they're mining for sand or use what they mine to upgrade their pickaxe into silver and so on. Is the idea,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly the idea. And the why. So to have a sustainable play to earn economy, there needs to be a way to value the NFTs, a way to value the resources, the way how can we put a floor price on stuff if things do not cost. So in a way to have, in my perspective and from what I've been learning, in a way to have for yourself a sustainable play to earn economy, there should be a way to also secure the players that, okay, I'm spending money on this, but I can get it back. I can get it back because there's at least a floor on it. So at least this that I'm winning, it has a guaranteed buyer because it's the game itself. Even there's no one buying it from the secondary. So at least I'm secure that they're going to buy it if no
Mm-hmm.
one else wants it. Or I can just use it to keep progressing and upgrading the pickaxe and use it on different expansions. Because what we're talking right now is just for this map that we've built. Later on, there will be more maps. There's going to be PvP expansions from the Sandbox itself, which will allow us to unlock our own fantasy league, which we also have experience in making. And then, of course, having a pickaxe that gives you a boost of 84 power, and you can only use gated NFTs, so you can only use NFTs from the Pickaxe Master on that experience PvP. Of course, holding a higher tier pickaxe that gives you more bonus
Mm-hmm.
will also give you more benefits. So that's extra utility that they will give in the long term when we can deliver more expansions as well.
Yeah. No, that's super cool. You guys got so many different things in the works that it's gonna be exciting. I mean, it's already exciting, but it'll be more exciting when like
Much more exciting.
everything's out there and everyone's
Yeah.
doing all these different things. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun ecosystem to be a part of. So I'm glad that I found you guys when I did, and I know people are starting to catch on. And as your partnership and relationship with the Sandbox grows, I know more and more people will take notice to all the cool stuff that you were doing. So just super cool to see where you guys are getting to, and I know the future is bright. Doesn't look like we have any questions that popped up in the chat. If you want to take the last whatever, and plug yourself, plug where mainly. If I were you, just let people know where they should follow you and where they can find you, so that they can join the community and be engaged and be part of the growingness of the Pickaxe Master.
Okay. Well, I think that I'm going to use that time to thank everyone that has joined us to watch this stream and to get a bit more, to know a bit more about the Pickaxe Master and to watch the amazing Krafter here that is behind of the avatar, which is a very cool show. So thank you everyone for joining and tuning in. Now, to get to know more about the Pickaxe Master, you can just type on Google Pickaxe Master. I think you'll find our website, and our website, it has the links either for the Discord, either for the Twitter, for the Twitch, for YouTube, and from there you can just have access to everything. If you want to get more involved and you want to know more, or even if you want to ask questions directly to the team, just go to the Discord server, you put a question, there's going to be someone that's going to answer you, and you can be, like we're telling, community, devs, team, we're intertwined. So just make us a question, and someone will pop up and will explain what the game is about, or if you have any question. And that's it for us. We'll be keep developing. We'll be streaming for you, so you can be as updated as you can be. And we'll see tomorrow. We're going to do the recap on Underground Master, and we'll be seeing the amazing work that Krafter also did there as well. So, Crafter, I want to thank you for the invitation, for
Heck
being
yeah.
here at your show. It's always a very big pleasure for me to be personally here to represent the Pickaxe Master team because I speak in behalf of a team of 7 people. So there's a lot of work that I don't want to take credit for that because there's no way that I would be able to pull it off alone. It's really, 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 really a team effort, and I'm just here as someone that's speaking in behalf of everyone. So I just wanted to also state that it's for me a pleasure to be here to represent the Pickaxe Master team and all the group, the effort that all the group has done so far. So, Krafter, thank you one more time for
Of
letting us
course.
to be here on the show. It's always a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited and waiting for the next one in a couple of months and see what we can discuss and see where we are at.
Yes, 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 yes. Shout out, yes. And I also love to also do that as a shout out to Team Pickaxe because, like you said, anything great typically is built with a team. And this is no exception. I've definitely seen a lot of the different team members just on the streams and stuff in the background working, and it's very team oriented. You guys do a great job of making that obvious. So I don't think I don't think anyone thinks it's just you doing it. That's awesome. And like you said, it's always fun having you on the show, and I definitely will have you back on whenever we have more stuff to chat about. So thank you, as always, for coming on, and thank you guys in chat for hanging out, watching, and thank you guys if you are catching the replay. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and we will catch you guys on the next episode. Take it easy, y'all.
Cheers! Thank you for coming.